We know that many people are doing it tough and that there are more difficult times ahead. But there were some positive developments for the economy to report this week. Economists like Westpac's Dominic Stevens have said in recent days that the economy is recovering faster than expected, and unemployment is likely to peak lower than previously thought as we open more quickly than forecast. This morning, MSD published its regular job seeker support numbers. It was good to see the trends of recent weeks of a flattening in the growth continuing, with an increase of 702 from the previous week. We do know that the global recession will continue to affect New Zealand, and there will be further job losses and further growth in these numbers. That's why we've taken action to make sure we cushion the blow by putting support in place, for example, through the $490 per week for a full-time worker COVID income relief payment to help people while they seek new work or consider retraining. Applications for this income relief payment open next week on Monday the 8th of June. There's no doubt that the wage subsidy has helped in terms of slowing the number of people going on to job seeker support. I stand by our early decision to work with the business community and unions to get that wage subsidy in place quickly to protect jobs and incomes. We know from feedback that these direct cash grants to businesses of more than $7,000 per full-time worker to help them pay wages under the original scheme has freed up other cash flow for non-wage costs such as rent. We've also shown that we will move quickly to make changes to our wage subsidy scheme based on our regular engagement with the business community. And that's why we announced a targeted extension to the wage subsidy at the budget on the 14th of May. While New Zealand's economy is now one of the most open in the world following lockdown, even under level 2, we know that there are some businesses that will be affected by this global pandemic for longer than others. We're not all out of the woods yet. We've been talking with the business community about the changes that we've been made, and we've been taking on feedback. That's why today we are announcing that we are extending support for businesses through changes to the extended wage subsidy scheme and the small business cash flow loan scheme. Following feedback from businesses and Retail New Zealand and Business New Zealand, the government has taken the decision to reduce the required revenue drop threshold for the extended wage subsidy from 50% to 40%. This change means an extra 40,000 businesses are forecast to become eligible for the scheme. In total, up to 230,000 businesses are forecast to be eligible for the new extended wage subsidy scheme, covering up to 910,000 workers. That's up from 740,000 under the threshold that we earlier announced. The change will increase the top-end estimated cost of the wage subsidy extension by $700 million from $3.2 billion to $3.9 billion. And to remind us all, the extended wage subsidy scheme kicks off on the 10th of June and offers an 8-week payment to eligible businesses. It's also worth remembering that eligible businesses that for any reason need to take on new staff can apply for this cash grant for any new workers that they take on. We think that particularly the tourism, hospitality and retail sectors will benefit from these changes. The government also recognises that many small businesses are still in the early stages of planning for the future as the economy opens back up. The Small Business Cash Flow Loan Scheme was set up to provide interest-free loans for a year to SMEs to help with cash flow as the economy opens up. To date, more than $1.189 billion has been lent to more than 70,000 SMEs. The success of this scheme shows we made the right decision to support SMEs through direct lending from the government through IRD to complement the direct cash grants being paid out through the wage subsidy scheme and the tax refunds. Cabinet has now agreed to extend the closing date for applications for the Small Business Cash Flow Loan Scheme from the 12th of June to the 24th of July. This is to give business owners the confidence that support is available for longer as they understand more about the impact of COVID-19 on their businesses. I think that both of these changes show that the government is able to move quickly and decisively, to listen to the feedback that we receive from businesses and to provide the support that is needed to protect jobs and incomes and back our economy as we become one of the most open countries in the world for business following lockdown.